Then that. So we have the Drive Salesforce system, which is a way for you to tackle presentation in a very, very easy way. Now, in this life, there are 5 kinds of people. That is DRIV. The first one is the director. Now, a director is someone who is all about having a good lifestyle. Huu ni mtu mwenye they are all about lifestyle, they are all about having fun, they are all about all the good things that come with life. They're not people who think far ahead, they just want to have fun in the meantime. Have you seen those people who are always about partying? They're always about going to some of these concerts and they meet celebrities. As in, they are more attracted towards having fun in this life. Now, this is the first kind of person. These are the people who see the fun they could have in the business. They're thinking about the vacations. They're thinking about, let's say, uh, dressing nicely. They're thinking about anything that is relating towards having a good life. That is a director. And when you're doing a presentation, you can identify a director directly. Ndivyo usiende hata kwa story mingi. Juu mtu kama huyu, ukianza kumwambia oh, sijui we do charity work, hizo vitu hazimeki sense. They don't make sense to this person. So you need to go directly to the things which make sense to this person. Now, the second type of person that we have is someone who is a relator. A relator. A relator. This is someone who is all about the community, someone who is all about the family. This is someone who is all about maybe the social life, as in someone who likes relating with people. They are people who, when you share with them the project or the concept of Conan Devon, you don't really have to struggle so much about explaining to them. You just should share to them how this can help them to make their community a better place, or this can help them to or this can help them to make their families better. Share with them how this can help them to have a better social life and help them to make other people happy. That's the only thing that you need to share with them, so you don't have to struggle so much. A relator anaona tu charity work, they are in. Ukimwambia sijui we have vacations or you can make 1,000,000 Kenyan shillings, you are boring that kind of a person. Now, the other kind of person that we have is someone who is an intellectual. An intellectual. An intellectual is someone who is all about the system. This is someone who is all about the technicalities, you know. Huu ni ule mtu mwenyewe ukianza kumwelezea oh, sijui hii 4800 utatengeneza 4800 automatically, atakwambia simama hapo kwanza, inakuja aje automatically? Hebu nielezee, nataka kuelewa inakuja aje automatically. So that is that kind of a person. Now, huyu intellectual, they just want to know the inside out of the system. Ukianza kumwambia oh, you'll get a rank, atakuuliza hiyo rank mtu anapata aje? Hebu nielezee, nataka nielewe. So that is someone who is an intellectual. They are sharp upstairs. So you need to know how to handle this kind of a person. Ndivyo usianze kupiga story mingi, anze kushangaa okay, mimi hata sitaki kujua oh, we nielezee tu hii 4000, hii 6000, hii Technovas, hii Digivas, hii PMA, hii hizi other ways of, as in mtu technical sana. Then next we have a validator. Next we have a validator. Validator. I hope nimeandika vizuri. A validator is someone who likes feeling good, something which can give them praise, something which can make them to stand out in front of people. As in akiingia kwa room, watu wanafaa jue bas, Judith amefika. That is a validator. And a validator, you just show them the events, ceremonies. You just share with them that you can get a rank. Unaweza kuwa gold executive, as in anasikia tu hiyo the word kwanza gold executive, huyu ushamaliza huyo jamaa as in hata usieleze vitu mingi. Ukishaonyesha vile watu wananunua magari, umuonyeshe tu caravan ya magari, yeye ashaanza kuimagine oh my god, hata pia mimi nikinunua nitakuwa celebrated hivyo. Oh my god, hata pia mimi naweza fika point kama hiyo. Anaanza kuimagine how they can stand out in front of people. That is a validator. And then the last kind of a person that we have, and you need to be careful with this kind of a person, is now what we call the executive. The executive are always the hardest to handle, but once you understand where they come from, it is the easiest to help them. They will not disturb you. This is someone who is all about goals. They are goal oriented. They have a vision. They have plans. They have big things that they want to accomplish. So huu ni mtu mwenye anakaa chini anakuuliza, okay, hii biashara inaweza nisaidia nitengeneze nitengeneze let's say nitengeneze kama let's say 500,000. Ukimuuliza 500,000 ni ya nini, anakuambia mimi I have a goal of let's say opening up a very huge hotel. Ukimuuliza maybe what kind of goals or vision they have, this is someone who has so many big things that they want to accomplish in this life. And so when you show them people who have been able to buy houses, people who have been able to maybe achieve a good income, people who have been able to grow, people who have been able to start from scratch, and right now they are a huge success story. As in ukimwonyesha tu success stories za watu, they look at the before and afters and they like, man, if this can do this for this person, then pia mimi nataka hivi. I have big things that I want to accomplish. As in mtu ako na a lot of vision. This is the Drive Sales Force system. And I want you guys to understand, if you're doing a one-on-one presentation, and even not a one-on-one presentation, even during closing, when you're closing someone, when you're helping them to join the business, either during one-on-one or a closing, you need to understand the Drive Sales system of the people you're dealing with. All right? So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, what makes a very good presentation? What can help you to stand out in terms of presentation? That's what I want us to handle. With what can help you to stand out? Just a moment. So that's what can help you to stand out. And once you understand the Drive Sales system of a person, you will have a very easy time, because they'll not hawatakusumbua, you know, hawatakusumbua. You will just go tackling one item after the next one, and they are in. Now, with the Drive Sales Force system, there are some things that you have to prepare yourself for. You need to look at the background of this person. Najua mtu anajiuliza hapa, nitajua aje mtu ako hapo, usijali. So I'm going to answer that question. So the first thing is the first thing you need to check is the background of this person, where this person comes from, what kind of goals and expectations. Okay, first of all, let's start with the background. Unajua jina huu mtu, where they come from, what kind of history they have. You will be asking maybe some simple questions. Oh, by the way, what do you do? Okay, that's nice. How long have you been doing it? Where is home? Do you how to approach that person and how to close that sale even before you start it? All right. Now, number 2, you need to look at the profession of this person. The profession of this person. Maybe let's say what they are skilled at, or what they are good at, or which profession they are in. Once you've learned about the background of this person, the kind of profession that they are in should tell you something, 1 or 2 or 3 things. Ndivyo ukiingia kwa presentation, you don't just go for everything. You tackle that kind of profession, or what that thing, the thing in the business that person can easily relate to. Now, the other thing that you can know from this person, apart from their background and their profession, like I had already told you, is their goals and ambitions in life. Ambitions, goals and ambitions in life. And then lastly, you can learn about you can learn about the goals and ambitions, and then you can learn about their persona. Sema their persona, I mean how coachable are they, how coachable are they, how open-minded they are. Huyo mtu, how open-minded are they? There are some set of questions which you can ask, and I want to share with you. Now, look here. How will you know the best way to handle someone? It is by asking them a set of questions. So when you're talking about the background of a person, kuna zile tu maswali obvious kama their name, unaitwa nani, or what's your name, or what do you do, by the way. Hizo ni vitu tu zenye unaweza muuliza straightforward. But when you talk about the drive sales force system, with the drive sales system, this is how you can know the kind of person they are. The first question you can ask them is, first kind of question you can ask them, have you ever thought of increasing your income? Or have you been open to new opportunities? Have you been open to opportunities, or are you open to increasing your income? Namuuliza hivyo. Are you open to increasing your income? That should be zinaitwaje? You're just asking them a direct question. By the way, from what you're telling me, let's say you are a teacher, but I'm just curious. Have you been open to new opportunities, or are you open to finding ways to increase your income? This you are learning about the persona of huyo mtu. What kind of a person ni mtu aina gani? Number 2, if you are to start a side hustle, or if you had maybe a side investment or a business, how much would you want it to pay? How much would you want it to pay you? How much would you want it to pay you in a period of, or let's say in a month? Maybe if you had a side business or a side hustle, unaweza taka maybe a side hustle yenye inaweza kuwa na kugeneratea how much. This question will help you to gauge the needs of that person, or maybe the responsibilities. Anaweza kuambia I need that because I want to start a business, that is a need, or because maybe let's say I have my siblings wenye nawalipia school fees, or I have this and this that I am taking care of. So that should give you a clear idea of maybe this kind of a person, how serious do they need maybe a side hustle. Number 3, you can ask them, suppose you make 100K. So suppose you make 100,000 Kenyan shillings in a month. Suppose you make 100,000 Kenyan shillings in a month, what will you do with it? What would you do with it? So unamtease tu, unafungua akili ya huyu jamaa. Suppose utengeneze kama 100K hivi per month, what will you do with it? Or what happens, or where will that help, or what, as in unataka tu kujua now, huyu ni mtu wa kupenda sherehe, huyu ni mtu wa nini kusaidia family and the community, huyu ni intellectual, huyu ni validator. Kuna mtu anaweza kuambia mimi nikatengeneza sosa hizi, first of all naweza nunua tu manguo, naweza fanya nini, at least ni shine. Ushajua huyo ni validator. Ukisikia mtu amekwambia nikipata 100K saa hizi man, natakanga kufungua cyber cafe, natakanga kufungua hoteli, that is an executive right away. Huyo ni mtu mwenye akona goals mingi na ambitions mingi, so you don't have to struggle so much about explaining to this person vitu mingi. Ushajua when you're going to tackle the system, unamwonyesha people who have accomplished that, shared testimonials of people who have accomplished that. All right. Now, the other kind of question you can ask them is, think, suppose you make 100K, I think those should be more than enough, but you can ask them another question. Oh yeah, actually the most important one. What do you hope to accomplish? What do you hope to accomplish in a 2 to 3 year plan from now? In a 2 to 3 year plan, maybe from now, as in the next 2, 3, 4 years, where do you see yourself? I think that's the right question. Where do you see yourself? Muulize tu directly. Where do you see yourself in the next maybe 2 to 3 years? Or even 1 year. Unaweza muuliza, where do you see yourself in the next 1 year or 2 years? Hiyo iko outside the business. Ndivyo akuambie, mimi in the next 2 years, I want to be owning my own businesses. I want to be this kind of a person. You know, right now I'm a family person, so I'm hoping in the next 2 years naweza somesha mtoto wangu. As in, they'll give you all kind of reasons. They'll give you everything that you need for you to handle that presentation. So when you're going for the presentation, usifumble, usianze kuongea vitu mingi. In fact, hata some of the slides, ukiangalia hizo slides una skip with the unnecessary things. Unasema hiyo hata achana na hiyo, haitakusaidia, acha nikuelezee vitu zitakusaidia. You just go straight to the point. Now, let's go to the next thing. Once you have identified the drive sales system of this person, mtu mwenye anakuambia mimi ukinipea 100K saizi, first of all I can do this, I can travel, natamaningi kutravel, natamaningi kufanya hii na hii. You identify that person and you go to that presentation, mwambie okay, David, I think I've listened to whatever you've shared with me, and I hope that whatever I'm supposed to offer you, itakusaidia in this way. Let me explain to you what the project is all about, and then you go directly to the presentation. Now, when you talk about the presentation, we have certain aspects of the presentation yenye nataka muelewe. The first one actually there is 3 aspects, and this is now what we call the golden. This is now what we call the golden circle. The golden circle. Now, what does the golden circle involve? If you've ever read this book, or if you've ever come across this item into the golden circle, you will understand why many businesses fail. You will understand why many people never succeed in whatever they are doing, because they never understand the concept of the golden circle. This is a concept which was, I think, established a few years ago, and a lot of people actually don't do an in-depth analysis of what they're about to do. Unajipata mtu amefungua biashara ya hoteli and they don't know how to run it, or they don't know why they did it. Maybe mtu alikuwa anataka tu pesa. So the golden circle inakaa hivi. There are 3 concentric circles. So now the first and the most inner circle, circle near the Y. The Y. This is the innermost circle, and this is the most important circle. And this one, when you establish your why, then everything else will fall in place. You've seen people who have been successful in sports. Mtu anaulizwa, what makes you so good in, let's say, football? They'll tell you, when I got into football, I had a passion and I wanted to become the best player in the entire world. So I put in a lot of effort in training because I wanted to become the best football player. That is a why. You ask someone, why did you, or what makes you think, or what makes you a great musician? They'll tell you, for me, ever since I was young, there's something which has always been pushing me to, to speak to people through my music. When you ask Usain Bolt, what makes you the greatest athlete in the 100 meters? They'll tell you, they'll not give you maybe I wanted to make money, or I wanted to be celebrated. No, they'll tell you, for me, anytime I was stepping in the field, There was something which was pushing me. I just wanted to be the best in this field. I wanted to make myself proud. I wanted to do this. They'll give you their reason why. This reason why is what separates every successful people in this world from every other failure. And I'll ask you guys today, why did you join the business? I think I asked you this when you were doing the IPO. Why did you join the business? What makes you part of Bonan Vivon? Why did you, what reason do you have if you're given a microphone to stand in front of 1,000 people? What reason can you give for being part of this organization? Now, this why is what is going to push you to surmount all the challenges. There are going to be ups and downs along the way. There are going to be obstacles. There are going to be times where things will not make sense. This is what will keep you going, your why in this organization and in this business and in anything else that you do. You ask someone, why did you want to become a lawyer? They'll tell you, for me, I wanted to defend the poor in the society. I wanted to make people nini. So when you have a why which is not directly tied to you, when you have a why which is not directly tied to you, even when challenges come along the way, you utavumilia because you have something to lose if you give up. You will have something to lose if you give up in your why. So that is what you need to understand. When you're doing the presentation, if you don't establish the why, your presentation, wachana nayo. That's why we have the drive cell system. You need to understand what pushes this person, where they come from. The moment you shall establish their why, ukienda kwa presentation, you don't even struggle. You will just tackle the main things because you've understood why this person is here and why this business could be the best for them. So even when you are doing the presentation, you are showing them why they need to be here. The next thing is we have the how. We have how. So once the why is established, the how becomes very easy. They need this business. How does it work? How can it benefit them? How do they get to be part of our project? How do they, as in, after why, the most important thing is how they can get to benefit it. Ile session, the slides of the presentation that we have divided it into these three main areas. The why, where we talk about why Bonan Vivon, why, in fact, there's a slide which just talks about who is eligible to become part of this organization. And then we just tackle the main reasons why someone needs to be part of Bonan Vivon. And then we show them it is not just a why, we have already done it. We have people who have retired early. We have people who are their own bosses. We have people who have built apartments. We have people who have bought cars. We have people who are traveling. We have this and this and that. So we are just validating the why, which I've already showed them. Now, the next bit, we are talking about how the project actually works. How the project actually works. That's why we talk about the connected economy and the Ed Plan 3.0. And we talk about how they can make the 4,800, how they can achieve their goals, how they can make money, how they can we tackle the how. And then lastly, we tackle the what it takes for you to become part of Bonan Vivon. Hapo sasa ndio tunasema you need this amount of money to start with this number of accounts. So what it takes for you to become part of it, what you're going to enjoy the moment you get started. So hapo ndo naonyeshana, we have the DTC, you're going to get a gift hamper, you're going to get free traveling opportunities, free mentorship program, and then as we are ending this, we talk about the what it takes for you to be part of the 90 days challenge, and we talk about having the skills, having the three qualities, that is hardworking, coachable, blah blah blah, and the requirement, what it takes for you to be part of the 90 days challenge. So you work your way outside. You start for why and you work your way all the way to the what. That is how you do a presentation. Anytime you step up to do a presentation, regardless whether it's a one-on-one or a physical presentation or an online presentation starts this way, you are most likely going to get someone who is following through the session with you. You guys see that we don't fill up the OPP so much, but we, by the end of that presentation, we still have 2, 3 people who are saying, I want to be part of that. I want to be part of that. And you're seeing them, they are joining the business because someone is understanding that I need this. And even I wish I could share with you some of the things that they tell me. They come to my inbox and they tell me, man, I've really loved the session. And I think this is the best platform for me. I am a student, I'm staying at, in the hostel. Someone is telling you, I'm a doctor. And I think with this, Oscar alikuja kaniambia, you know, uniambia aje, I want to take charge of my financial life, and I've loved the session. I want everything. That's why you guys are still here, because you have your why. If that presentation was just, okay, next we have 3 startup options. So you start with this is how to make the money, and then who wants to get started? People will ask themselves, okay, umenionyesha how to make the money, but why should I be part of this? Why should I take 39,000 and be part of this organization? Mbona nisiende nifungue kibanda ya kuuza nyanya or start maybe another business and still make the money? Why should I? That is why we are tackling it in the first start, because you need to retire early in life. You need to become your own boss. You need to become this and this and this and this. You can buy a car, this and this. So when you talk about how to make the money, you find that rarely do you find guests leaving during the presentation. Wanaanzanga kutoka ipati ya altar call huko mwisho mwisho. But they stay because we maintain that curiosity. We maintain that posture. That's why I usually tell you the kind of presentation that our team does. You'll find Sir Eric starting with 25 guests at Amalza Opipina 25 guests. You'll find Sir Levi starting with this number of guests at Amalza Tuna. Wow. They don't leave, they stay until the end. Is that last party in your way now piga chenga? Some will leave, some will stay, but even those who stay until the end, they are still very much positive. They are still hopeful that even once the session ends, they are still hopeful that in a few months time they can still get a chance to be part of organization. Even the codes that are being paid right now, they just attended the presentation, we did the altar call, but then they never gave up. They have a reason why they need to be here. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the golden circle, and I want you to internalize it. Iweke ikuwe kama Bible, ukisoma Matthew chapter 1 verse 2, unasoma pia the golden circle. You can use this golden circle to perfect your presentation. If you want to do a very perfect presentation, understand this very, very quickly. Now, apart from that, this golden circle, together with the drive cell system, should help you to do a very wonderful presentation, which, kwa sababu umeshaelewa where this person is coming from and what kind of a person they are, it will help you to remove a lot of objections. It will help you to remove a lot of objections, like, right now I would have wished to get started in this, but I'm a student. Alishakwambia kitambo. So now that you know it, you remove it even before it happens. Number 2, it will help you to answer a lot of questions. It will help you to answer a lot of questions. You see that last bit in the presentation, which I usually say, you might be having some 8 basic concerns. Does it really work? Those are questions which I am answering even before you guys, before guests wako kuja kuulize, okay, nimeelewa, but do I need to convince people? I've already answered that. That is still part of the presentation. I think your last bit, your 8 basic questions, I usually just summarize whatever the presentation has been, whatever has been explained in the presentation, because I just repeat the same things that the presenter has said. For example, someone is wondering, maybe for example, do I need to market those products? It was already answered in the presentation. Mimi narudia tu just to remind them, so that when you are sitting down, the only thing we want to know is how ready are you to get started. So we are answering objections. We are answering the questions even before they happen. Any chance you get, first of all, understand what kind of a person they are, and then go into the presentation. tackle their main reasons why and you watch it. Utashtukia tu umemaliza, mtu anakuambia man, in fact this is what I need, because you have said I can join even if I am a teacher, even if I'm a student, even if I am a parent, because alishakwambia before na ukahandle kwa presentation. That is how to do this golden circle plus the presentation. Are you together? Now let's go to the one of the last things about the presentation, and I want you guys to be very careful here. There are some rules concerning presentation that I want you to understand, and let's just call them the do's and the don'ts. Okay, let's just call them the do's and the don'ts, or rules. Let's just call them rules. Now, what are the rules of a presentation? Number one, know your audience. Know your audience. Always make sure that you are aware of your audience. That's why nimwambia kama ni one-on-one presentation, very well. Go ahead, ask them those questions. Make sure that make sure that they are questions which you can get tangible answers from. If it is a big OPP, you are excused to not know everyone. But there are some few things which you can know about the audience, like the current region that they are. That's why tunasema pale hivyo kwa chat box. Type for me in the chat box where you are currently and who connected you to the meeting. So kama let's say nimeona let's say Oscar in the meeting, and Oscar says I am Oscar and I'm in Nairobi. Okay, let's say it's Oscar from Nairobi. Just a moment, let me handle this. All right. Sorry about that. Levi was having challenges with the presentation. Now, know your audience. If you're doing an OPP, you are allowed, you are excused, but you can just know some basic things like where they are currently located, what they are used to. Vitu kama hizo. If it's a physical presentation and you have so many people, you can just know one or two of their names, at least even from the look of your eyes, unaweza ona hii ni age group gani, and from how they look like. Are these employed people? Are these young people? Are these all very old people? Are these you just look from your audience, you know your audience. Number two, always be on time. Always be on time for any presentation. Be on time. At least if it's a physical or if it's maybe a virtual presentation, be there at least 15 minutes to time. At least 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes before time. It will give you ample time to look what is missing, to check up if everything is okay. You're checking the systems kama iko sawa. You're learning if you also unajiprepare pia your mindset and everything that you need for that presentation. You are unajiprepare vizuri. When you are on time, your thoughts are organized. So when you're telling your friend, let's say, let's meet tomorrow, I do for you that presentation. So what do you need to have? You need to have all the tools and be there on time. That is the other thing. Have the necessary tools. Usikuje kuchorea watu giza. Unawaambia, okay, so 4,800, and then you're drawing in the air. So uko huku na left, unatumia mikono yako, so huku ni left, huku ni right, and then as in it even looks confusing. Have writing materials, that is writing materials, and something which people can refer to. Especially writing materials are easy because you can use it to draw, you can use it to annotate, kuandika vitu zenye mtu anafaa aone vizuri, further explanation. All right, so that is what you need. Then that is the tools. Hizi zinaitwa third party tools. They're called third party tools. So let's put it in bracket, third party tools. Things that will help you to do the explanation. They could be slides, that is writing materials, that is slides, could be having slides, slides to help you to do the presentation. You could be having videos, relevant videos and photos. Awesome. Right? So things which can help you to do that presentation, like photos and videos. Also, all right, videos and those. And then we have websites, and let's say websites, and let's say what else is needed, vitu kama hizo. So when you're going to explain the business, or when you're showing, you are showing something tangible, photos and videos, and even a booklet, like a booklet. You can be having a booklet. Let me try to zoom this out. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right. So that is a booklet. You can be having like a booklet, something which has photos and videos. And what else? I think that is what you need. Those are third-party tools, things that you can use to refer to and explain to you, to your audience, the business, and everything that they need to know. Now, number 4, your language. Choose a language which you are comfortable in. Choose a language which you are comfortable in. All right, so you're back. Sorry about that. Of challenges in there. So choose a language which you are comfortable in, so that usijichanganye, and choose a language which is comfortable with your audience. Remember, sometimes back when I was when you are having these presentations, and I used to ask, tell me where you're currently located and which language is okay with you, so that maybe for those who are in Rwanda, they could tell us if they're okay with Swahili or English, and which language is comfortable for them. When you're doing okay, ukifanya one-on-one, it's not that of a big deal. But even when you're doing one-on-one, look at the person you're talking to. You might be talking to someone who dropped out of school a while back, kitambo sana. So when you start telling them about, we have the encashment process, mtu anashtukia ni kama you're dropping a bomb, but you're just saying the encashment process. So you just make sure the language that you're using is comfortable with them. Now, when it's an audience, you can just ask them generally, you guys okay with me using English, or can I use Swahili, or which language is okay? Then we'll do it. Now, number 5, it's usually very obvious. Dress sharply. Dress sharply. Dress sharply. Basically, your impression, first impression matters. First impression usually matters. So as you're talking to your audience, make sure you are someone, because this is what goes through the audience mind. This is what goes through their mind. When they look at you doing a presentation, they are assuming you are the best of them all. As in, the company has sent the best of, as in, they don't expect anything shabbily. So the language that you use, the tools that you have, if you are on time, it is a first impression. So it all matters because the audience is expecting nothing but the best. They are assuming the company has sent the most experienced people. The others are just nonsense people. So you are the best of them all. Anytime you are stepping up to do a presentation, you are representing the entire organization. You are representing from the CEO of the company, that is Edplan 3.0, that is Ed Kabantog. You're representing the CEO all the way to the last person who joined the business. You are the one who is representing us all. So it will be very wise if you take your time, deliver a very wonderful presentation. Usisumbuane na malanguages mingi. Use a very simple language and just make sure that your audience understands what you are saying. Make sure you're dressed sharply because when they look at you, they are assuming you're the best of them all. Sijasema uvae suti na tai. Hapana, I've just said dress sharply. Usiende ukae pale hivyo like you're the one who actually needs the business more than everyone else. You are giving to them an opportunity. You are selling to them an opportunity. So if you're the one selling the opportunity, let's see from how you're explaining it, how it has benefited you. That's why for me, when I'm doing a presentation, when I'm doing the altar call or I'm closing the last part of the meeting, it is easier for me to close because when I'm explaining to you that it can help you, of course, you can see from whatever I'm sharing that it has helped me. So also for you as well, it can help you. Sawa. So when you're starting the business, you might be wondering, but I'm just starting the business. What can I maybe share to help me? That whatever you have gone through, that is enough. You're just telling them, hi, I'm just still new in the business, but trust you me, I can help you. Let me share with you what the business is all about. It is allowed. You're just telling them, I have just started and I'm excited about this. Let me share with you how it works. And this is how it works. Now unaelezea, and this is how it works, and this is how it works. But remember, I have just started. So that's why, for the 6 of you who are here, for any presentation that you are going to be doing, I'm expecting you guys to be honest with your guests. You're telling them, you can even tell them, hey guys, don't mind me. This is the first time I'm actually doing this presentation. So you'll forgive me if I make some mistakes, but I'll try my best. I'll do my best to make sure that you guys get the best of them all. Are you together? It is allowed. You're giving them all the reasons to listen to you. So. Now, the next thing that I want you to understand with this presentation is that the next thing that I want you to understand is content. Content. Understand what you are sharing. Understand what you are sharing. So be very keen and understand what you are sharing. Whatever you are sharing is very important. So be knowledgeable. Your guest can know when you are confident in whatever you're sharing or if you are not. So one thing that can give you confidence is having the knowledge. Having the knowledge that this is how it works. Now unaanza. So this is the Edplan 3.0. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Edplan 3.0. It was actually founded in the year this and this and this and this. And so far it has been working like this. And of course, this is what the project can help you to accomplish. And of course, as you can see, this is how it works. And then we have this number of ways of earning. And in this number of ways of earning, this is what it entails, and this is what it's all about, and this and this and this and this and this and this, and then unamaliza. But if you're not knowledgeable in your business, if you don't know what you are sharing, you'll even confuse your guests. Utaanza. So in this system, we have a left and a right, and in a left and a right, if this and this, the system pairs, and it gives you 6,000. And then unapose, No. It does not give you 6,000. It gives you 5,000. No, it's not 5,000. Oh, sorry, it is 4,800. Even the person who is looking at you will be like, are you sure you even know what you are sharing? Because um, whatever you're telling us, it looks like you're not confident in that. So be knowledgeable in the business. I'll ask you guys, attend as many presentations as possible. And I believe you guys have been attending our presentations ever since you got started up to this point today, and you have a lot of knowledge. You have all the things that you need to understand about a presentation. So attend as many, and also keep on practicing on your own. Just make sure you are a knowledgeable person in the system. If you want to understand much more about the system, maybe time utapatana na an intellectual, because we said about the dry cell system, we'll talk about the intellectual. What I can advise you, go to YouTube, go to our channel, inaitwa Horsepower Kenya. You know, Horsepower Kenya. I've shared the link with someone today, and they were like, man, hey, this is now what we need to be doing. Someone from another team. They just looked through our channels. In fact, they saw the DTC training and the technical training. They were like, man, this is what we just need. They're even sharing the links to the other team. So that is DTC training will really go a long way in helping you to understand the system. Ndio ukipatana na let's say an intellectual, usikuje pale uniite upline uniambie upline ameniuliza hizo other ways of earning zinawaka aje. Sasa nimjibu aje? I'll just look at you and wonder, why not go through the video, understand it, and be prepared for that kind of a person? So I'll refer you guys to combined DTC and technical training. It's about 4 hours and 50 minutes or so. It's about 5 hours video. Or if you want to learn one specific thing, you can learn technical training or you can learn DTC training. Just be knowledgeable. I'll advise you to go learn technical training. All right. So just a moment. I'm seeing Salivi. So be knowledgeable in your system. Now, number 7, that is posture. We talk about posture. Posture is how you carry yourself. Posture is how you carry yourself. How do you carry yourself in front of your guests? How do you, handle things? How do you handle things when your guest is there? This one can either make that presentation successful, or it can make you have a very poor presentation. When you are handling a presentation, remember, you are the boss. Remember, you are the boss. And not the bad kind of a boss, ule mtu bossy sana. Just remember that you are the one in charge of that session. So if it is going to be successful, you have to carry yourself like a boss, like a leader. That's why you always hear me telling, John, mute your microphone or I'm going to remove you from this session unceremoniously. You guys think I am setting a tone so that for any person who just even thinks about unmuting or accidentally unmutes their microphone, they'll face it. And I'm not afraid to remove any guest from the meeting. I'm not afraid to even chase my guest. Kama nimemuita appointment, they show up late or they come, they start giving me an attitude. I have all the right to remove that person or send them back home or to end the meeting at that point unapologetically. Because this is a business. And this person needs to understand that you're doing for them a favor. So you are the boss. You have created time to take them through the presentation. You are the boss. You're the one in charge of that session. And you need to act like it. When you hear me, even when I'm doing the closing, even the last bit, I tell them, If you're going to leave this session and you're going to go and consult with your loved one, if you're going to join Bonan Vivon, what do I tell them? Go to hell. Someone will be like, hata kama ni, hey, you're very harsh. And I'll tell them and I repeat again. Yes, I'm going to say it again in case you didn't hear me the first time. If you've attended this session for 2 hours and you haven't made up your mind, then just leave this meeting. Go to hell. You are simply confirming to us that you are not an intelligent person to make a decision, not intelligence of wisdom or anything. You're telling us, not in terms of books or academics, you're telling us that you don't have the wisdom to make a decision. So someone will sit back and tell themselves, wow, man, if this CEO is this harsh, I just have to be a serious person. So you have to be the boss in that presentation. And whatever I'm about to tell you next will contradict what I've just said. In as much as you're the boss, also be humble. Also be humble. You are not everything. You are not everything in that presentation. Sometimes you might have made some good amount of money. Let's say umeshaunda ka 30K. Don't brag about it. Don't over 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 overshare it such that it feels like you are the next best thing after the invention of the wheel. Be humble. Show them that it is possible for them as well. You remind them that hii yenye nimetengeneza wachana na hii, kuna wengine wanatengeneza zaidi, that I want to also get there, so I'm just on the way. But if you are a boss and if you are arrogant and you have an attitude, you will go on bragging and bragging. Oh, I'm the best in this. Oh, I am good in this. Oh, right now I live in a big house. Oh, right now I'm making some. Even people will wonder, kwani, even if you're making that, do you have to confirm for everyone? Okay, even if you're confirming for everyone, does it mean that even me, when I'm going to become part of the business, I'm going to be like you? I don't want to be an arrogant person like you. So they will not listen to that presentation. That's why you hear when I'm stepping in to close a session, you hear me reminding them, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not any special. I'm just like you guys. And today, I want to help any one of you guys to start like me and be like me. At the same time, I tell them, don't come and tell me that you're going to end this session and go. You are a stupid person. I am being a boss, and at the same time, I'm humbling myself down. So they look at those two options and they don't have any reason to. And the reason why I'm saying these two reasons is because sometimes you find people are either too bossy or they are too humble. If you are too humble, your guests will overpower you. They will overpower you. They will be unmuting their microphones every now and again. If you're doing a physical presentation to so many people and you're not the one in charge of that session, they will overpower you. They will, as in mnaelewa. If you don't take charge of that presentation, then you're going to lose it. Number 8, we talk about, uh, uh, oh, let me scratch that. Number 8, we have, that is your tone or tonal variation or your tonal variation. Tonal variation ni vile unapanda ukishuka, unapanda ukishuka. If you've seen how I've done, maybe if you've ever attended any one of my presentations, or you've seen me doing a presentation, a serious one, wachana na ile yenye maybe guest ni wawili watatu, so I don't even have the motivation to do it. If you've seen me doing a presentation, for those who have ever been when I'm doing it, there are times when I am rushing through it. There are times when I am projecting my voice until someone is there and they don't fall asleep. But then there's a time like Shukisha and I tell them, guys, I want you to listen and understand. When you're talking about these 4,800 Kenyan shillings, I mean this and this and this way. Now, when you're talking about joining the business, I want you to be very keen, blah, 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 blah. And then tena nashuka chini tena. Nawambia, guys, don't worry. We have the last option. So we have the 39,000 Kenyan shillings, which I started with. But then these are the benefits. Then kuna time yenye niko flat. These are the benefits of you being part of our organization. Now, when you're talking about the encashment process, guys, we only use two banks. Which one and which one? EcoBank and Stanbic Bank. We don't use any other banks because these are international banks. So any person starting, you'll be required to open any one of these two bank accounts. And then finally, as we end this session, we have the first come advantage for any person who is starting the business. That is now tonal variation. Basically, what you're doing is this. Okay, what you're doing is this. You are basically what you're doing is this. Sorry about that. Basically, what you're doing is you are kama ni graph. If it's a graph, you are starting the presentation at that point. You are starting it, with the simple things, and then you start unapandisha mood na atmosphere, and then now you get to silent mode, and then unapandisha tena sauti, and then unachill tena hapo hivyo kidogo, and then you take it back up, and then you take it down, you whisper almost to a whisper. You're almost whispering, and then you take it up again, and then you go back down. And then when you're ending the presentation, you're ending it at that point. Sorry about that. So, as I was saying, if that is a graph, unaipandisha hivi, unairudisha. Unaipandisha tena, unairudisha. Then unachill tena hapo hivyo kidogo. And then you take it up, you're almost shouting. And then you come back down. And then you end that presentation at that point. This tonal variation will make your guests to stay sharp through the entirety of the meeting. But if you are just a dull person, umeanza tu hapo, so my name is Salevi. So we have the Bonan Vivon project, and with the Bonan Vivon project, we have this and this and that. And now we have the encashment process. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to welcome my mentor, that is Sir Glenn, or I want us to end the session at that point. You've already lost that presentation. You've already lost that presentation. If your presentation is so much dull like this, or you are shouting the entire time, or you're whispering the entire time, you've already lost that presentation, you've already lost it, you've already lost it. You see the way even, yesterday, not yesterday, even today, today nimeona screenshot pale hivyo kwa group, sijui ni Nathan alituma ama nani, and someone is even saying, man, Salino really rocked that session. Man, Salino really, I just want to talk to Salino. That is how a presentation should be. You need to know how to vary your tone. When it comes to the serious issues, it is serious issues and serious issues only. We don't have time to joke about. We are talking about money, and money is not a funny subject. Money is not a subject which you can play with. Now, let's go to the next item on that list. So number 8 was on tonal variation. Now, number nine, we are having that is number 9, we're talking about um, um, not, am I forgetting this? Number 9, we're talking about the just give me a moment, guys. I'm trying to remember it. Number 9, we're talking about that is okay. If it was a physical presentation, then it would have been, let's say, your movement, your movement. Don't be implanted. A good speaker, move around. You're giving the room ambience. You're giving the room ambience from every corner. You go from one corner to the next one, to the other one, to the other one. It helps you to maintain ambience. You don't just get planted in one spot from the start until the end. It becomes very dull. That is on movement. And then number 10, um, every presentation you must get you must be in a position to also inspire. A good speaker inspires and motivates at the same time. A good speaker inspires and motivates. It's a chance for you to leave a mark in someone's life. Why not take it? If it's a chance for you to inspire and leave a mark in someone's life, make sure that unatoka pale hivyo kama kila mtu anakumbuka, wow, man, that must have been the best speaker in the entire world. I usually have this quality. Anytime that, for example, I do a presentation, I make sure that I've given someone a reason to remember me. I've given someone a reason to come back again and listen to the presentation. Or even if they're not coming back, they'll join the business at some point down the line. They'll still get a chance to join the business because I am giving them a chance to remember that. There are some speakers who, when they do a presentation, everyone just forgets immediately. As in, you even ask them who did the presentation that day, they can't even remember. I don't know, ilikuwa tu kijana fulani tu hapo alituelezea how the system works. You did a very bad presentation when you don't leave a mark in someone's life. Right now, even when I pass through the head office, people just stop me at random. Hey man, I think I was telling you this story yesterday. Tunaingia kwa lift and a lady is like, you trained in the big opportunity meeting. We did a BOM at a 680 hotel. There were over 1,000 attendees, including the 7 mastermind leaders. But they gave me the responsibility of doing that presentation. So this lady just stops me at random and she's like, man, you trained me in January. On 21st of January, you trained me in a BOM. I've never forgotten that. And you are the reason why I joined the business. I joined the business in March. Right now, I'm doing so well. And I even stopped for a moment and wondered if people could just remember me from a simple presentation and I don't even know them, then what kind of a presentation did I do? So always make sure if you're given a stage or an audience or even a minute to share something special to someone, always make sure you leave a mark. A while back, when we were doing big opportunity meetings, when I'm leaving the stage, someone is just ananiandikia a small piece of paper. They give me a small piece of paper, wameniandikia their name and their number, and they're like, hey sir, this is my number. Just save my number. I want to learn more from you. By the end of the OPP, you'll find even old people. They're like, I was sharing with you the story of when we went to Mombasa to do a presentation. Even they give me their business cards. They're like, man, I've really loved whatever you shared today. Here's my business card. I just want us to be communicating. You share also with me some of the secrets of this economy from that chance. That small chance that I get, I always make sure, even for you guys, if I ever did a presentation for you, or if you ever attended my closing, when I was closing the last bit, I think you always remembered. You are like, man, hey, lazima ni join. And this guy has really challenged me. And these guys, even before, sometimes you might be thinking, oh, I challenge people because I have the car. No, it's not even because I started inspiring people even when I was 1 month in the business. I'm given a guest. I do a very wonderful presentation. Even the guest is wondering, how old are you? And I just tell them, I'm 20. I'm 21, I'm 22, I'm 23, I'm 24. And they keep on wondering, how can you be this young and you are really challenging me and you're inspiring me? So that is the quality that I want you to have. Now, this one, I cannot give it to you. You have to look within yourself. What about yourself do you think you can share to people and it can really inspire them? Hiyo sasa ni wewe unaamua. Wewe ndio unajua what you can share and what can inspire people. Are we together? So leaders, I want you to always remember that. There's something else which I'm trying to remember, but nasao, and it was the last bit. It was the last thing that I wanted to share on the theoretical part of the presentation, and then we'll go to the practical bit of the presentation. I think I'll just remember it along the way. In any case, I'll remember it, or if I don't, I know I'll just tackle something along the way with it. So I'm very much sure with these items in mind, you guys should be in a position to do a very wonderful presentation, not just to, fantastic, I've remembered. And it is the most crucial thing, nimekumbuka hapa kwa inspire. The most important thing that you are doing during a presentation, you are educating someone. You are educating someone. This is a chance for you to educate someone. This one is as in hii sasa, hii hata I think ndio ilifai kuwa point number 1. It is a chance for you to educate someone, to enlighten them, to enlighten them. Your work is not to make that person join the business. Your work is to enlighten that person. Anafaa toke pale hivo, their thinking is different. They are thinking like a totally different person. They are now reasoning like successful people. They have enough belief within themselves. As in, these are all the reasons why you need to understand the presentation. You're giving them belief, you're giving them confidence. Joining should be the last option. Joining is the last option, or the last thing that should be at your mind. Joining, hii ndo inafaa kuwa the last thing. As in, yo hata ufai kuwa unafikiria, as in unakaa hivi chini na mtu, unamfunza, unamwelezea, unamwambia, najua unafikiria nga hii economy utaomoka aje. Can I share with you something? Now, when you have in the connected economy, we have this kind of activities. Even if you don't get to be part of an organization, you can still benefit from this and this and this. Number 2, in our Ed Plan 2.0 or Ed Plan 3.0, tuko na left na tuko na right. Now I want you to imagine John, kama huyu ndio wewe, kama wewe ndio huyu John na umeanza. I want you to imagine you have 2 people, and these 2 people, let's say this is Glenn and this is Betty. So if you have Glenn and Betty who are part of you, I want you to imagine when Glenn and Betty, and they start connecting their 2 people, you'll be making 4,800, 4,800. Na hii inaenda up to infinity. John, I just want you to imagine ukiomoka, ukuwa multi-millionaire. You are opening them up to a world of possibilities. We'll talk about this when we're talking about closing tomorrow or maybe the next day. But when you're doing a presentation, you're opening someone to a world full of possibilities, a world full of opportunities, a world of success, a world of freedom, a world of excitement, a world of all the good things that they could ever want in this life. You're opening them up. That is why this is the most important bit. Educate them. The moment ushamu educate, then leave it for them to make a decision. Leave it, mwachie hapo. That's why you can never convince anyone to join the business. You can only share with them the concept and then let them make a decision. You can never convince anyone to join the business. Remember that, and I want you to always have that at the back of your head. You can never convince anyone. You can only educate them, and you can only help them to make a decision. Once you have done the presentation, make sure that any question that they have, it has been answered. When you answer their question, it also gives them enough confidence that they are in the right path. When you answer them, for example, they ask you, if I start today, will I make the 4,800 immediately? You go back to the system and you explain to them, when you start today, we are going to help you to connect your 2, 3, 4 people. Once these 2, 3 people start growing their networks and to start growing their teams, guess what? You're also going to be making the money. And this is how the system works. They'll be like, oh, now I've understood, I'm in the right place, I want to do this. Let me tell you, if you do a very good presentation, if you do a very good presentation, if you do a very good presentation, a very good presentation will help you to get a direct sell, a direct yes, a direct I am in. Utapata all these things when you do a very good without even needing to do closing. Without even doing closing, you're getting a yes. Mtu anakuambia ni hivyo kumbe, Judy, ungekusha nielezea hii kitu kitambo. Sasa saa hizi niko na 32,000, naweza anza na hii. Unamaliza tu hivi presentation, unamaliza uko na swali kuhusu hiyo presentation, akwambia Betty, man, thank you for sharing this with me. Na nikuulize, naweza anza kama niko na hii, naweza anza na hii ya 39 saa hizi ama next week, or I can raise this amount of money by next week or next week but one, na naweza anza hii biashara. You'll be getting that kind of direct sell without even needing to involve your upline. Si lazima utafute upline, hebu jibu huyu hizi maswali. Hapana, unafanya very good presentation, you don't even need to struggle, someone is already in. You've done a good job. And how will you know you've done a good job? By the time you're finishing a presentation, they don't have any question. They'll just ask you, how can I start this business? Maybe I am busy right now, but is it possible for me to start this business next week or next year, or give me 2 days? I think I can start this business. I think one of the people who's really mastered this is Upline wa Judy, that is Alan. Alan really doesn't even struggle. He just takes you through the presentation, then he tells me, Upline, my friend here has said he wants to get started tomorrow. Maybe unaweza advise aje, and then I'll just step in and just answer 2 or 3 questions. But Alan has done majority of the work. Also, Ian has been doing so well. Even the course that he's getting right now, he's just been presentation, and then he's telling me, Upline, just share one word. Then I just ask them, do you have any question from whatever Ian shared with you? They tell me, no, I'm good to go. All right. So that is how powerful presentation is. If you do a very good presentation, it will save you a lot of effort in closing. It will save you a lot of effort in helping someone to join the business. It will save you a lot of effort in maintaining someone in the business. If you do a very good presentation, you will have a downline who is confident because you shared with them the right way, you explained to them, you showed them the plan, you gave them everything. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we are going to be tackling closing, combined with this theory of presentation, you guys should be good to go. You guys should be good to go. Once we tackle closing, I'll share the video as well on YouTube. Once we tackle closing, start preparing yourself, go through the closing styles, and then utakuwa combine na hii presentation. So unafanya ile the whatever I've shared with you, identify the drive cell system of that person, and then once you have identified the drive cell system, what do? Step into the presentation, do that presentation. Then from the slides which I'll share, we are going to go through them. You go through the slides, ukishamalizana na yeye unafanya aje? Unafanya closing, then unakuja unaniambia, Upline, nishafanya kila kitu, just help my friend here. Nataka kusikia sasa Sharon ananiambia, Upline, niko na hao mabeshte wangu, tuko hapa na hapa Lebanon, nishawafanyia presentation. Upline, maybe unaweza waambia vitu 2-3. Mimi nitaingia tu pale hivyo, I'll just tell them, guys, welcome to the business. Wewe unataka kuanza na gani? Wewe unasema aje? Uko na how much saizi tukusaidie uanze biashara? Sharon, unashtukia unatoa codes without even struggling. So sio lazima uwakange guest kwa OPP. And the reason why I'm teaching you this presentation is so that you don't have to struggle in filling the OPP every now and again. Uko na marafiki wako wenye mko pale Lebanon, Sharon, do for them injustice. Unaingia presentation, you do injustice to that presentation. Ama tunasema justice, you do justice to that presentation. As in unaifanya na roho moja, unasafisha, unamaliza, huyo mtu anakuambia, Sharon, wewe ngoja tu mshahara ingie next week, na ingia biashara. And in fact, right now is the perfect time. It's 2nd of November. People are still enjoying their salaries. This is the perfect time to go down and explain to those people who are working, people who are employed, People who have businesses, this is a perfect time. You have a chance. Sharon, Oscar, people in Rwanda, Kigali, you sit down with them, you take them through the presentation, you tell them how the system works, you show them the videos and the testimonials, and then you go through the closing. Then you come tell me upline, I'm on a phone call. Maybe you can come share one word with my friend from here in Kigali, and we'll just talk and we'll just laugh, and I'll just ask them, where is the money? Let's get started. Christine, the same thing. Betty, Victor, I want to now see you guys becoming beasts in presentation. Nataka tu kusikianga nani amesafisha, nani ashatoa code. Nataka kuona sasa the hardest worker in the room. I've showed you guys how to do the invitation, that is prospecting and invitation. Maybe except Oscar, who was unavailable, but now is back. So for those who have gone through that, and for those who have gone through the presentation, now, if a friend of yours tells you this and this and this, you don't have to worry, go through it. So tomorrow we're going to go through the slides one at a time. I'll be sharing the slides. So unapitia, you do for us a presentation. You do for us, maybe where there are errors, we'll be correcting them. And then we make sure that all of you guys are skilled in presentation in the next 24 hours. Alafu nataka nimalizane na nyinyi November. I also pick a new batch of leaders to mentor. I can see guys are actually joining the business right now, quite a number. So nataka tu wafike the sizable amount, then I get you guys to the next batch. You can see Ian from my previous batch. Ian is already doing so well. Today day 2 ashatoa kodi ya pili, na I'm very much sure by tomorrow atakuwa ametoa kodi ingine. So nataka kuona you guys challenging each other. Tulikuwa na Alan in the previous batch wakiwa na Ian. Right now Ian and Alan, they are challenging each other, wanajituma. So I want to see the next batch. Nataka sasa kuona between the 6-7 of us who are here, I want to see now who is the hardest worker of them all, and I'll promise you guys, biashara inaenda kufungukia. I wish you guys all the best. I hope the session was worth it, and let's meet tomorrow at exactly 8. Tomorrow we don't have OPP, so we can go all the way to 10, and then we have a team meeting in the evening. I have some few announcements I want to share with you guys. So I hope that has been wonderful.